G'day and welcome to Uneducated Entrepreneurs. I'm Peter and this is Dan.
G'day guys. Today we are two Aussies talking about business, well-being and everything that you can do with business. We will be talking or getting to know each other, I guess. Why we're doing this, why we want to do it today, and going from there.
Yeah, so today, just for you guys to get to know who we are as uneducated entrepreneurs. So you'll be getting to know us as business owners, all the different side hustles and stuff that we're doing, difficulties that we've had in our own personal walks in being an entrepreneur, running businesses. I think today, first of all, we're going to get to know Dan a little bit, just up first. So this is Dan, otherwise known as Dan the Man in school, always known for ripping his shirt off and shirts off Dan.
Got an award for that.
So Dan and I have actually known each other since almost primary school, preschool sort of stuff.
Yeah, preschool.
So we've known each other for well over 20 years, which is a bit of a long time. We've gone close and not close throughout the time, but we've really, as we've become adults and gotten to know each other, we've really grown passionate about business and business within Australia and getting to know what it's like to run business in Australia and to be entrepreneurs within Australia, which is a really exciting prospect. So I'm going to just start by starting to interview Dan. So Dan, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, what sort of stuff you're interested in? I know you have a very different business mindset to what I do. So give us a chat. Let's have a chat about what you're interested in and all that sort of stuff. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we'll touch on the business a bit later. But so essentially, I've been Australian for forever. Obviously, went to school with Pete. Dabbled in various things. Love sport. Climbing mountains, surfing, playing video games, mainly business. But yes, I live in Caloundra. Pete's down south, hence why we're doing remotes. But since probably the last year or two, probably almost 2 years actually.
Probably a bit more than 2 years.
Yeah, actually, more so meaning for the business side of things. We've been talking business for so many years. So I kind of more focus on the online stuff. Pete's more of a brick and mortar guy, which we'll get into that. So it's kind of nice, two dynamics, I suppose, of what we both do. I sort of focus more on affiliate marketing. Now, if you've never heard of that, I could talk your ear off about it. Pete would know all about it. Yes,
he can talk your ear off about it. It's a very different a way of financially sustaining yourself to what I'm used to. So
yeah, exactly. I've been dabbling in affiliate marketing for 4 or 5 years, but before that, obviously with my passion for sport and fitness, I'm actually a qualified PT. I was studying to become a clinical exercise physiologist, which is essentially a PT on steroids. That's just how I explain that to people, because or I'll say an EP and they're like, what's that? I'm like, an exercise physiologist? What's that? It's basically a PT on steroids. So I was doing that for, it's probably 4 or 5 years, stopping, starting.
Why did you stop that sort of the PTing? Because it was a business that you were looking at getting up and running. You and I have had a lot of conversations about that, and you were wanting to, at one point, you wanting to push that further. What made you change and go into, because you mentioned affiliate marketing before, what made you change from that personal training side to the affiliate marketing?
Yes, so, I'm still doing PT stuff, but more so essentially increasing my ranges of income per se. I moved away from focusing on clients and more so providing a service, working towards providing a service through either various products or other PTs, getting them in contact with stuff, which is still in the works. We'll do plugs later on, but that's sort of, I moved away from that because it was taking up a lot of time. I would spend a few hours. It's probably my fault not being as efficient as I could be when it comes to PT, but any session that I ever did, it'd be a unique session for every single client. So it'd be different because obviously I don't like doing the same thing. So
But that was you providing a unique service. Yeah. You have to, in any business world, when running a business, when doing anything, you have to stand out and have a point of difference. So that was your point of difference. It took a lot of time.
Yeah. And so yeah, the time was an issue, and so then I was spending more time with that as well as focusing on various other businesses, because PT was more of a side hustle and affiliate marketing's kind of been a side hustle. But then I'm also pushing it to full time because I just want to be able to do my own thing.
Because you currently work at the same time, don't you?
Yeah, so I should probably tell that. So currently I'm a full-time Ubereats driver. Yes, you can do a full-time wage on Ubereats. So I do Ubereats around the Sunshine Coast. So if you live on the Sunshine Coast, I've probably delivered food to you.
That's if they've ordered Uber Eats, that is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, I only do Uber Eats. I don't do Manuel or DoorDash or anything, because I'm like, one is easy, simple. So I currently do that. I'm doing that 4 days a week, and then focusing on, one now, the podcast, and then my other business, Monday to Wednesday. So I'm doing that. Before that, I was at a strawberry farm. So I've done farm work. Strawberry farm for probably almost 2 years. But obviously strawberry farm, long hours, and then we were moving further up the coast. We were doing strawberries down in Caboolture area. I like how I'm giving names, but half the population's not going to know.
Maybe. You got to be careful and all of that. So.
Anyways, so I did strawberries, and then before that I was fencing, so like a full-time fencer.
You were also helping your partner's family with their farm and running their farm and stuff as well. Yeah, so
I was kind of running up doing that, because you could call that a bit of a side hustle as well.
Yeah.
So we used to run cattle. Love cattle. Don't get me started on cattle. So I used to love cattle. Still love cattle. Do cattle on the farm now. I've kind of got goats and crops. So still got there every now and again. But now more focusing on online stuff.
So can I ask, why business for you? Like, why did you decide to go into business rather than what the typical Aussie does, which is go and work for somebody and do a 9-to-5 job and get a stable income? Why have you decided to go? Because even doing your Uber Eats, you still need to have an ABN yourself, which is, so that's kind of still, even though it's working full time for Uber Eats, you're still drawing in an income from there as a sole trader yourself. So you're having to do all your own taxes and everything like that. So why have you pursued that path rather than what everyone else does? Yeah.
So I mean, the way I look at it is I have more flexibility than a lot of people. Even though I work full-time with Uber and have to do a certain amount of hours, I can switch on and off as I please. It's so that flexibility is amazing.
So it's convenient.
Yes, it's convenient. And then I can also then focus on my online stuff, which is then also going to enable me to, go traveling, or pretty much just, it's financial freedom at the end of the day. But I don't want to be able to do the 9-to-5, you're having to wake up at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time. I mean, you don't have to, but, you're full sleep. And it's not for everyone. The podcast, sorry, my partner has just messaged me. And yes, Heather, I am still in a podcast.
I don't want to know what she messaged you.
No, she's just asking if I'm still recording. I'm like, yes, I am. Anyways.
We only just started.
I know. Clearly can't do two things at once. It's great. It's going back.
It's hilarious. You got very distracted just there.
I'm like...
I'm really used to... I guess I've got a bit more experience in when I'm running, because I do a lot of this stuff for interviews and different things like that. I'll be asking people questions and then off to the side answering text messages on my phone.
Well, that's not that good, alright.
Or one of my 3 phones that I've got.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, financial freedom is what I want from that, and I see online businesses opening up doors to do that. So if I want to go away overseas when we can go overseas again, then we can do that, and I can just take my business with me. But whereas with PT, so that's still a business side, there's a business side to that, but training clients is going to, obviously I need to be there physically. You can do Zoom, but it's just not the same. Because obviously during the lockdowns in 2020, 2021, heaps of people were doing that and they made it work, which was great. But I'm like, it just was too much of an effort for me. I'm like, I would rather spend time on like growing an online business, providing a service based around health and fitness, because I'm still very passionate about it. But then not having to be physically there to actually.
Still getting a message. You're getting distracted again.
No, I didn't actually hit send on my reply.
I heard it in the back. I go. Whoop.
Oh, I forgot about it. I'm fully good. We'll get better at this, guys. Sorry.
This is our first one. Give us a bit of slack. Hey?
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I basically went to do online stuff, because I just see it as more of an opportunity to grow, as well as give me more time to do things that I'm passionate about, like farming for one. And then we're going to go scuba diving.
Yes.
In the near future. So like we want to get that nice, like being able to just go off for a few months, go live on a boat or something, like that would be ideal. So that's kind of why I've gone and moved towards more of an online. I mean, that's not to say I still don't do actual like work, like labour work. I'm still technically doing a few actual fences for various people, just like almost cashies, but all on books, obviously.
I know that's your passion, your dream is to get a self-sustaining business, but what difficulties have you had? Because I know it's a dream on lots of people to be like, hey, look, I'm self-sufficient, I've got a business that's running all on its own, I don't have to do anything. And that's la-la-dee-da. It's all over Facebook, all over YouTube. I see videos all the time of these people going, hey, we'll buy a business, give us 10 grand and we'll set you up a business that you have money coming in for the rest of your life. Which is, I'd be honest with you, all the ones that I've watched, it's a load of crap, to be honest. I don't know if I'm allowed to say crap on the podcast. But
that's fine. No, that's all good.
We'll bleep it out.
Yeah, we can do that too. Yes.
But what sort of difficulties have you run into? Because I mean, I've run my business now successfully for 3 years, and it's not been a set and forget kind of thing at all. And I'm assuming that's the same with you with your online stuff.
No, so as nice as it sounds, online work is not completely passive. Like it takes a lot of work. Like, and a setback is it still hasn't made money. So like it's going on, 3-4 years that I've been given the online stuff, a half attempted crack at it, and so it's a lot of work, and you've got to put in the time initially to actually get things running, and then once you sort of get that first sale, that first dollar in, then the snowball sort of goes from there, and it kind of grows from there.
Most successful entrepreneurs have several failed things anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys are going to find out later on that we've got a couple of a fair few business owners, and ranging from small business owners through to large business owners, people doing sole trader stuff. We're going to be able to do interviews and stuff with them. A lot of them have had failed times and had really difficult times. Like that's a normal thing, and it's something to be expected with entrepreneurship. Like that's the entrepreneurial spirit is not an easy one, and it's not an easy life, and you've just got to keep plugging like you've done.
Yeah, exactly. And like a perfect example of that is the Colonel from KFC. Tried like over 30 or 40 different businesses until, he was like 55 or 60. Don't fact check me, I'm probably wrong. But he was well into his later years.
I can fact check you if you want. Yeah. I can have a look right now. Hang on, let me just bring
but
it
like, that's a perfect example. It's like he tried and failed so many businesses. But then, look at KFC now. It's like almost second to none in that sort of sector. Like it's one of the biggest takeaway chains. Is it worldwide? Or just, it's worldwide, surely. And that took him, 40, 50 years. And so that's kind of, I guess, the way I look at it. And like I follow a lot of people that are sort of similar, like entrepreneurs and stuff. And like I know one of the main guys so that I'm following closely now, Adrian Brambiller. If you've heard of him, check him out. That's not even a shameless plug. He is so good. He failed. He didn't make $1 for like 5 or 6 years, maybe even 10 years before he actually started really making money. And now he's made it onto Forbes. So he's doing very well.
Colonel Sanders was 62 years old.
There we go. So, it's 50, 60. That's in the right area.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing is when you look at successful entrepreneurs, a lot of them are in their 40s and 50 years old. See, Dan and myself, we haven't even reached 30 yet. And we're still plugging along and realizing that it's sometimes not always about the finances. It's actually about the actual the passion for what you're doing and the dream to see success, no matter what that looks like. You realise that in the future that success isn't about a monetary thing all the time. Like, look at all your Jeff Bezos and your Bill Gates and all of them. They don't give a damn about money. They give a damn about change and being driven. And that's what it's about, is being focused and driven on what you're passionate about and being able to put the work in and make sacrifices.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you can make money along the way, excellent. That's just a bonus.
Yes. I was a very fortunate entrepreneur in which I started making money pretty early on.
Exactly.
I was, to be honest with you, it was a lot of luck. Like, it was, a lot of entrepreneurs say that it's lucky. They got into it in a luck-based thing. But.
I mean, and touching on that point where you're seeing all these ads about, we'll buy this, we'll buy that. That's just a big marketing tactic right there. We'll get into that later on. I love all of the back end stuff, so that'll be where I focus most of my stuff. Whereas Pete is more
I'm really passionate about like mental health side and the actual business culture and developing that sort of stuff, and developing just having an entrepreneurial culture is being able to maintain it. So we'll get into me in a little bit when Dan talks to me, but I'm actually a young married father, so I actually stayed home, but making sure that you've got that healthy work-life balance, which can be very, very difficult, and that's the stuff that I'm very, very interested in, because I know that mental health can be make or break on a business, particularly a brick-and-mortar business. I guess also online businesses as well. You've got to be able to work at it and just keep going. I'm also very interested in like the sales side of things. Like I'm a really big talker, and I'm really interested in finding out about people and all of that sort of thing. So, but we're getting a bit distracted. Should we get back into you,
sure.
Dan? So why are you so interested? So that you want to do the online business because you can do it from anywhere? Is that the reasoning behind it, or is it?
Yeah, kind of, basically. No, so I see there's a lot of, going into that is I see there's a lot more room for growth and earnings in the online stream. Like, I'll probably touch on, obviously, if you've heard, you may have heard, you may not have heard, the whole Web3 thing. That's going to be pretty big, but that's all internet-based. And so we're currently in Web 2. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of Web 1, 2, and 3, because even myself, I'm still learning about that. But I see that's kind of where the future's going. There will still be, obviously, your tradies, because, a computer at the moment can't build a house. I mean, it can, but...
Well, we've got the 3D printers, man.
3D printers.
You're like 3D printers. Oh, I bet you there's so many, so many people out there. There's so many inventors out there going, that's a lie, Dan. I reckon we'll have them in the next 10 years.
Yeah, well, that's probably it. But at the moment, there's always still going to be those, I guess, brick and mortar businesses and stuff. Eventually, it might be phased out, but I'm sure there'll always be a market. So that's kind of where I more see the earning potential. Not that I'm all about making money. It's I couldn't care less really. I just enjoy what I'm doing. If I make money, that's good. That means I don't have to, work, silly hours doing other things on top of everything I'm doing as well. So it's
When did you first get into affiliate marketing stuff though? When did you see? What did you see? Was that?
So my first introduction to it, I think. It may have actually been another guy on YouTube, Stephen James. YouTube's amazing. You should get onto it.
We're not even on it yet.
This will be the first one.
Once this gets released,
and then there will be bloopers where we have cut stuff and added to there. So
the fact that we stuffed up our intro 4 times in our first one.
No, so I first I don't know whether I came across it or whether I was just searching for different ways to make money, because I think at the time I was trying to do my PT, get a website running for my actual PT, in-person training. And it
I remember
failed.
having chats with you about that.
It was expensive and nothing worked. It was clunky. I'm like, this is gross. And so I deleted that website because I'm just no, not doing that. And so then I kind of, just focused on, there's got to be, you see all these gurus and stuff, and oh, you could earn this much money in passive income a month, and you could do this by that. I'm just like, it sounds like a load of baloney, but there's got to be some truth to it. Like, behind every kind of like rubbishy rumor out there's some hint of truth. So I'm like, I kind of just went searching for that, I suppose, and then stumbled across Stephen James. He's also on YouTube and he does everything from affiliate marketing to drop shipping, so Amazon FBA. So he's got a few books done, products. Like he's got like half a dozen different income streams. So he was probably the first introduction to affiliate marketing, and then I came across Adrian, who's done a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but like he's focused more on affiliate marketing.
Well, I think there is definitely a way, from the research that I've done, there is definitely a way to make money. It's not my area of expertise by any means whatsoever. Yeah. But I think the baloney part of all those statements is, it's really easy, and look at this, it's gonna give us 6 months, and you'll be making $10,000 a month off just drop shipping or just
that's
this.
That's a red flag right there.
Right, and it's everywhere, and I think it's just misinformation, because like you've been doing this for, you said, coming on 3 years now, 2 or 3 years, right? And it's still, you're still plugging away and making it work and trying to do the best that you can.
It's an ever evolving scene, I suppose, because there's always new technology coming out that you've got to be on top of, and like new platforms. TikTok's a very good example of this, is because everyone's now on TikTok, and that's blowing up. We've also got TikTok. You'll see shorts on there as well. This is going to be just plugging all of our socials. We have Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It'll be on there. That's blowing up, and you have to be hitting all of those social media platforms to, I guess, create your audience and your following, which is then at the end of the day, it's going to be what brings in the money, is those loyal customers.
Do you think, with everything that's going on in the world, I know we don't want to be a political channel or anything like that, but as business owners or entrepreneurs, we need to be aware of the standing of what's happening within the world. Do you think that's affecting the online business world as well?
Yes, definitely. Because as of today, it is March 2nd or 3rd of March.
2nd of March.
And if just depending on when you're watching this, just look that up in Google. We're not going to get into it. What's going on is just horrific. Like, it's mental. Everything's kind of involved with like online stuff. It's like, there's certain suppliers from certain things, and then if you've got it's all kind of like a trickle down effect, a butterfly effect, where one thing's going on, and then there's like a butterfly effect where it like affects resources from this area or resources from that area, and then you can't get access to either products if you're doing like a physical product or whatever. Like, that's potentially what's going to happen. And so I think being aware and conscious of it, and then trying to, I guess, maneuver and navigate around what should and shouldn't be done, definitely is something to be, I guess, mindful of when it comes to online business.
Well, because I know stuff like drop. I've got a mate of mine. He runs a textiles business, and he's had trouble with worker shortages because of due to COVID and governments giving stimulus packages and all of this sort of stuff. They're having a lot of trouble getting their textiles in from the US, because the US is having a decreased worker. They're having an increased worker shortage. They're looking for more and more workers, because obviously travel's been restricted. Obviously, there's been government payouts, so people are not as inclined to work. And so he's had trouble just getting stock in from overseas. Like, look at in Australia. Look at us trying to get rapid antigen tests. That's been ridiculous. And now all of a sudden we've got thousands of rapid antigen tests everywhere. We had a toilet paper shortage.
Mental.
That's just ridiculous to me. But it was just what happened, and I found a lot of trying to bring stuff into Australia via online, doing online business, doing drop shipping, doing any of that sort of stuff, became a bit more of a delayed process.
Another example of that is because I also have, have been helping out or help out occasionally as a qualified barista. That's another side hustle. Forgot about that one. Help out a mate down in Caloundra, and I was going to do like plants, and like because he does coconuts, so we're going to do plants and stuff and that. Had all the cuttings, but then ordered vases from AliExpress. It was probably almost a year ago now. Still haven't got them. Yeah, well, that might be my problem. But like that's just
You might as well have ordered from like Catch of the Day or something.
That's basically that just is another example of like how things have like been affected worldwide with distribution. Distribution is the word we're looking for. Distribution, yeah. So
yes,
it's a very real thing that you have to be aware of, especially if you've got products that you're meant to be shipping to people. And it's like, well, if it's not in the country already, there's potentially months of delays. And being in Australia, the furthest point from anyone, really. For some people, it's not over the lot for us, but it's going to take you longer. So it does make it difficult.
Well, yes, it's away from the world, but that's why we've started this channel, because there wasn't much, but we just don't have much, there's not much business education or talking or even podcasts in Australia for business owners within Australia. Exactly. So, I know we touched on this just before. We were talking about like the future of online business, and you were talking about Web3 and all of that sort of stuff that you mentioned. Where do you see all this happening? Because I know there's been a lot of big companies out there, like Facebook Meta, which has decreased rapidly in the stock market. It's dropped an insane amount. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But them starting the metaverse or like a digital presence, how do you think that a digital presence is going to affect online business, online entrepreneurs, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, all of that sort of stuff? Because it's going to even brick and mortar. Like, how do you think it's going to affect like
it's
physical
shops? Interesting because it's if you've watched Ready Player One, it's Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
It's almost kind of where we're heading at the moment. It seems it's like where you plug in, you put your VR set on, and you go about your day. It is definitely going to be an interesting change. Like, we've been through a lot of innovations in our years, and we're not even 30 yet. Like, we've seen dial-up, ADSL, the iPhone, the MacBook, and now like waterproof phones now. We used to have Nokias. Like, we've seen a massive change like in technology, and like it's only been like less than 30 years since we've been around. And so I think this is just the next thing that is going to, like, at first it'll probably be a bit clunky, but that's like with everything. Like, when there's a new technology coming in, there's that sort of that teething time where everyone's sort of getting used to it. They're like, all right, this is actually a thing, and it's like, well, how do we optimize this and then make it look good and actually where people want to spend time. And the fact that we spent 2 years, like, I think there was a very good tipping point when we 2 years of pretty much in and out of lockdowns with COVID. Like, we got hit here in Australia with them. Didn't overly affect me because I'm an essential worker apparently. But
stock market,
so that blew up. And like that kind of set the precedence. Like, when everyone was staying at home and had like, well, we still need to work these big companies. It's like, well, I guess we'll jump onto Zoom calls now. So I think that was kind of like the catalyst to where this whole metaverse came from, where it's like, well, I don't need to go into an office, spend 3 hours commuting, depending on where you live, just to go into work. So I think that is definitely going to be a change, and it's going to affect brick and mortars because, one, overheads are going to decrease because, you're not having to have such a big space. It'll be more cloud space that you're worried about now. That'll be the next big issue, is worrying about how busy traffic is.
Well, how much is everything selling in, like, real estate selling in the metaverse, and it's selling for more than houses?
And like,
it's ridiculous.
That's the thing. It's like those people that have bought first, those first adopters, they're going to be rollable. I can definitely see it going to a point where that becomes the norm. Like, you go to work by putting a VR set on, because who doesn't love just working from home? Like, it's comfortable. You don't have to go anywhere.
I don't know. I've watched a couple of animes where that's a very, very terrible idea. I'm a bit of a nerd. Sword Art Online ring a bell to anyone?
So, like, it'll definitely be a change from, I guess, what everyone's used to. So, it's just something that will have to be actively. It'll be interesting to see where it takes us.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
I mean, hopefully, full-time online. No. So, what are we talking business-wise, or are we talking like personal-wise, or life?
Just life. We've talked a lot about business and a lot about worlds and different things that are going on. What about life?
So, I mean, probably, in 10 years' time, probably married.
9-month-old shadow dress.
It's like I've got my baby producing this right now. Also probably married, have a few kids. Business, probably. I imagine in 10 years' time, this will still be going. Probably. I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's always stuff changing. I enjoy it as long as we continue to enjoy it. I can't see it stopping. So I mean, I probably have a couple of businesses. I'd say. Online, like, so I'll have the PT sort of health and fitness side of things, probably a couple of other affiliate marketing websites running. I don't know if I'll be doing Ubereats still. I don't think I will be. I might have a farm, a couple of cattle, maybe in 10 years' time. Or both. Cool. Maybe both. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen. I've got big dreams, and it's just a matter of time before that happens. Was there anything else you wanted to ask me, Pete?
No, I think we've covered a lot in just this short half an hour of time. We've covered affiliate marketing. We've covered the sort of stuff that you're interested in, your background. It's been really awesome getting to know you. Hopefully you guys out there have enjoyed getting to know what Dan is interested in.
So now before we go, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, bell. We're doing that thing because, we need your support. We want your support. And then, if you have any people that you want to see on the podcast, comment below. If you're Australian, tell us where you're from, and then we could possibly reach out, connect. That'd be really good. Oh hell yeah! Questions.
If you have any questions for us about anything, we're more than happy to put it down in the comment section.
We'll be replying to every comment.
And
don't you worry.
Have a chat, obviously.
Or I will be.
Well,
for the next week or two.
Don't mate. What if we start getting like thousands of comments?
Yeah.
And if it looks like I'm always wearing the same clothes and we're recording all these in succession, it's because I have.
He's pulling a Steve Jobs, guys,
so that I don't make any
and a Mark Zuckerberg. I might do the same thing as well. This is true.
I have a
but yeah, guys, thanks for watching, tuning in. Hopefully you made it to this point. If you did, it'll probably be a bonus at some point. Not at the moment, but good on you for making it this far.
No. Tune in next week. We'll look forward to having a chat with you soon, guys. All right. See ya. A service within the human resources sector, within the people sector, within the care industry, and I brought it profitable within the first 2 months, and it's now gotten me to the point where I'm actually a stay-at-home dad, and I'm able to have all the people in working within 3 years of the business operating and starting. So I'd love to have a chat with you guys and just about the struggles that I've had and the difficulties, even though I've had a very successful business that's run a lot of money, that's made a lot of money, that's been extremely profitable. Just the difficulties that we've had with that, with like how much effort and time it takes, but it is doable. Creating a business is doable within a short period of time, and to make it successful. So don't get disheartened out there. Just keep chugging along, and sometimes all it takes is that little bit of luck.
That's it. I'm still waiting for that luck to come, but it'll be alright.